Hare Krishna. So, आज Gaur Purnima. So today, the occasion of Gaur Purnima, on this supremely auspicious day, we'll try to discuss the glories of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu from three different perspectives. We'll take one beautiful song which has been composed in the glorification of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Yadite Haripad. And some of you may know this top university in India, it is called IIT. So we'll discuss 3 points about Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Now, what is his identity? Hare Krishna.
Jai. His grace Chaitanya Mahaprabhu.
So we'll discuss about his identity, we'll discuss about his intention, the mission with which he has come, and then we'll discuss about the transformation that he inspires within us. It is visible to everyone from there also?
It's fine.
So, we will also recite some verses over here, based on which we'll discuss. Ajanpur, you are here. Okay. So I'll explain the meaning of the verses and then we'll recite them. So this is a song by Bhaktivinoda Thakur, Yadite Haripad Saroj Sudha. So he's basically calling out to all of us to appreciate the glory of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, and he describes his glory in various different ways. So I'll tell the meaning of each line and then we will recite that line, and then like that we will contemplate. Okay. So Avatar Varam Paripurna Phalam. So Avatar, can you repeat after me? Avatar Varam Paripurna Phalam. Ajahn Prabhu, would you like to sing this? Possible? You have it over here. So I'll explain the meanings first and then we'll recite it together, okay? So it is said over here, who is the Chaitanya Mahaprabhu? He is among the avatars. There are many, many manifestations of divine. He is Varam. He is the greatest. And what is the greatness of him? That he Paripurna Phalam. What he is offering is the topmost fruit. So we'll discuss what it means. And then what is he doing? He is Paratattva. He is the supreme reality. But Ihatma, then what is he doing over here? He is the supreme reality existing in the spiritual world. Iha, in this world, Atma Vilasamayam. He is performing in his own pastimes. He is displaying what he does eternally in the spiritual world, here in this material world. Paratatvamihatma Vilasamayam. Can you repeat? So you have it. So what we'll do is, we'll recite the 2 lines. So we'll recite this twice responsively. So you can follow him. And then after that, we'll recite all together once. Okay?
Avatāravaram paripurna phalam. Paratatmamihatma vilasamayam. Avatāravaram paripurna phalam. Paratatmamihatma vilasamayam.
All of us together.
Avatāravaram paripurna phalam. Paratatmamihatma vilasamayam.
So what is his Atma Vilas? That is described in the next slide. Brajadhama, that Vrindavan Dhama, that is Rasa Ambudhi. That is an ocean of nectar. And there, Gupta Rasam. Even in that ocean of nectar, there is some very confidential rasa. So that is what he is sharing. So you'd like to listen. And then the last part is Bhaja Godru, Bhaja, worship. Godrumakanan, the moon of Godrum. Godrum is one of the islands of Navadvip, where Chaitanya Mahaprabhu performed pastimes. Kunja Vidhum. So, in the forests of Godrum, that who is the moon, the effulgent, beautiful moon of Godrum, worship that worship that Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu.
Vrajadhamarasam buddhiguptarasam Vajagotrumakanana kunja vidhum Vrajadhamarasam buddhiguptarasam Vajagotrumakanana kunja vidhum
Once to Thank you. So I'll talk about this, explain this verse a little bit, and then afterwards we'll sing it once again while contemplating on its meaning. So in the Bhakti tradition, it is described that God, Krishna, loves us so much that while He exists in the spiritual world, this is the spiritual level of reality, and we are here in the material world. So He exists here on top. Here He exists as the eternal Lord, Bhagavan. But He is so eager that we also join Him in His eternal pastimes of love. So many people may believe in God. When I was introduced to Bhakti about 25 years ago, I started talking about it with my relatives. And one of my relatives, my uncle, said that, yeah, I believe in God. He is happy there, I am happy here. Now, well, maybe, but the problem is this world is a place of uncertainty. The Gita calls this a place dukkhalaya. Sooner or later, distress will come upon every one of us. And that's because this world is like a hospital. Now, sometimes, if in a hospital, there's a patient, and the patient has taken lots of painkillers, then what happens? The patient may feel there's nothing wrong with me. They're not feeling any pain at all. Yeah, I'm very comfortable over here. But the fact is, the pain killers are not curing the disease, they're only covering the disease. So the way in Kali Yuga, as material advancement is happening, we have more and more comforts. But all these comforts are like painkillers. So we think that nothing is wrong. But then sooner or later the pain medication works. It starts getting exhausted, it stops working. And then all the pain, all the anxiety starts coming back in. So here the Lord sees that we are all diseased, we are all sick. And He wants us to come to Him. So therefore, He, from the spiritual level, He descends to the material level. So whoever descends is called as avatar. Now, of course, in today's world, the word avatar has become common in the digital medium. Yeah, people have their social media avatars. There's a movie also called Avatar, or a movie series, whatever. But the idea of the avatar is that from one level, you go to another level. Like in social media, I'm a person existing in the physical world, but I have a digital representation of mine that is called my avatar. That has come from the Vedic tradition, where the idea is that God who exists as a spiritual domain, He comes to this world. So among all the avatars who come in this world, Avataravaram. Now why is He considered Avataravaram? That will be discussed later. But the idea is, all these avatars, they come for one purpose. So they stay for some time and then they return to the spiritual world. But while they are here, they establish dharma in the world. Dharma samsthapanarthaya sambhavami yuke yuke. But along with that, when they come here, we say, okay, they come and they go. What about afterwards? There are so many things always wrong in the world. But then they leave a legacy. So when they come to this world, the Lord, when He comes, He displays His pastimes. So his Leela, the Lord's Leela, is like a trailer. Now, sometimes before a movie comes, a trailer is released. And if the trailer is good, then the idea is people say, I want to watch the movie. So when Krishna comes to this world, what happens is, Ihatma Samayam. He displays his own loving pastimes. And he says, this is what you can be a part of. This is where you belong. Krishna comes from the spiritual world to the material world and tells us, come, I am performing loving pastimes in the spiritual world. Come and join me. This is your home. This is your rightful place. But what happens? We tell Krishna, Krishna, I want to perform pastimes here. You come and join me here. What that means is, we think God is there to, I want to do great things in this world. God should help me over here. Well, Krishna says even such people are good. They are coming to me at least. But his purpose is to display these extraordinary pastimes of love. And when he displays those pastimes, by that our heart is meant to be attracted. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu performed many extraordinary pastimes. And we'll discuss some of those pastimes as we move forward. But the idea is, when he comes, so there are many avatars who exist in the spiritual world and they come from the spiritual world. But what is special about Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is, there is Krishna and there is Radharani. And both of them come together as Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So Sri Krishna Chaitanya, Radha Krishna Nahi Anya. So why do they become one? They become one because Krishna wants to both, Krishna and Radharani, Krishna wants to experience and distribute the love of Srimati Radharani. He wants that everyone relish this love. So that's why he comes in this world. So when Mahaprabhu comes, so for example, what does he do? Wherever he went, he just inspired people to chant the holy names. He transformed people's hearts. Now, when he would do this, Ihatma Vilasamayam, what he was doing essentially was that the heart, which often in this world becomes hardened with selfish desire, Mahaprabhu would soften the heart with his loving pastimes. So, one of the sweet pastimes is, so Vasudeva Trana Karta. There was a leper Vasudeva when Chaitanya Mahaprabhu went to South. So he went on a tour of South India. And at that time, leprosy was often a misunderstood disease. And people who were lepers were considered untouchables, kept far away. So Mahaprabhu went to him, Purata Sundara Vasudeva Trana Karta. He described that he was golden in complexion. You know, when somebody is very attractive, they take extreme care of their attractiveness. If somebody is very meticulous about dressing, about their hairstyle, about everything, then anything that will spoil their beauty, they keep a long distance from it. You know, that any color might fall and dust might fall. So people who are beautiful, they are extremely careful about preserving their beauty. Now Mahaprabhu had this extraordinary golden complexion. Now it was, anybody who would see him, they just couldn't stop looking at him. What is this complexion? So he had such an attractive complexion, and yet when he saw this leper, even ordinary people, oh, this leprosy is so ugly, I don't want to go there. I don't want to be there at all. But Mahaprabhu went straight to him. And although he was a leper, he was also a devotee. In fact, in many ways, that leprosy had inspired him to take shelter of Krishna more and more. And he was chanting Krishna's names. And in those days, there were not many cures. So there are worms on his body. And for many people, leprosy itself is unattractive. But if they have worms, say, I don't want to be anywhere 10 meters near this person. But Mahaprabhu went there. And what did he do over there? He embraced Vasudeva. And Vasudeva saying, no, my dear Lord, please don't touch me. He realized this is a special person, this is a divine person. But when Mahaprabhu embraced him, something miraculous happened. It just by that embrace, Vasudev's leprosy completely disappeared. And just as Mahaprabhu had a golden complexion, his complexion also became golden. And now this was one miracle. The miracle was that from an unattractive form, he got an extraordinarily attractive form. But there was a second and a bigger miracle. The bigger miracle that happened was that he said, "My dear Lord," Vasudeva said, why have you given me such an attractive form? With this attractive form, I will fall into illusion. I will start thinking that I can enjoy in this world. When I had that disease, I had no illusions. So that he developed so much detachment. That is a bigger miracle. Now it was not hard-hearted detachment. It was detachment which arose from attraction to the Lord. And the Lord told him, you just continue chanting the holy names. You inspire others to chant the holy names. Now, this attractive form that I have given you, people will be attracted to it. And you use their attraction to you to glorify the Lord, to inspire them to chant the holy names. So, this transformation that Lord Chaitanya did, he said, this is miraculous. The miracles don't happen every day. But the fact is, it was not just that Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu embraced Vasudeva at that time. Every person in Kali Yuga, we are all souls who are eternally parts of Krishna, but presently we are born in Kali Yuga. And everyone in Kali Yuga is in some way or the other contaminated. We all have selfish desires within us. So in Vasudeva's body, the worms were falling out. His deformity was visible. For all of us, inside us, there are the worms of selfishness, of greed, of exploitativeness, or of just negativity, pessimism, darkness. And when Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu embraces us, those inner worms, they all disappear from the heart. And the devotee becomes joyful. So now the embrace of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, the Lord is not here directly for us to be embraced, but that embrace is possible for every one of us by just coming into the Krishna consciousness movement. Srila Prabhupada said that the Krishna consciousness movement is non-different from the Lord. Just as Lord Chaitanya incarnated, the Krishna consciousness movement is also an incarnation of the Lord. So, by entering into Krishna consciousness, the deeper we come into Krishna consciousness, we are actually entering into Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's embrace. And we will find that every one of us, the more we become Krishna conscious, the more we find that our heart will also be transformed. We will become freed from the negativity and the selfishness, the very things that keep us away from real happiness, from realizing the divinity that is there within us. That is the mercy of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So, this is that highest love of Vrindavan he is manifesting in this world. So let's recite this once together, all of us, and then we'll move to the next verse together.
Avataram paripurnapalam paratatvamiham vilasamayam Rajadvamayasam Pudriyotarasam
So we'll discuss now, moving forward, the intention of the Lord. The mission, the Lord's identity, he is Krishna himself. He's Krishna, but he's come in the mood of Radharani. He's a golden complexion. So he's come with a particular intention. What is that? To deliver what I pointed out with Vasudeva past time, to deliver the souls of Kali. So the example here is Kali Kukkura Mudgara Bhavadhara. Kali Yuga is like a dog, Kukkura. But this is not just an ordinary dog, this is a dog with rabies. And not just a rabbit, since the word rabies can refer to a diseased dog, but this is a disease that also makes the dog mad. So it's very difficult to control. So Kali Kukkura Mudgara Bhavadhara. So such a dog, it's very difficult to stop that dog. But if there's some very powerfully built person with a strong club, the dog sees the club, oh, I don't want to go over here. So like that, Mahaprabhu is guarding us all from the dangerous, diseased dog of Kali Yuga. Mudgara Bhavadharam. The bhav he has taken is, I am your protector, I am your guardian. So we often say Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is Kali Yuga Pavana Kali Bhayanashan. So that's what is described over there. Can you recite this?
Kali Kukkura Mudgara Bhavadharam Harinama Mahaushadha Dana Param Kali Kukkura Mudgara Bhavadharam Harinama Mahaushadha Dana Param Kali Kukkura Mudgara Bhavadharam Harinama Mahaushadha Dana Param.
So now when somebody is, there's a dangerous rabid dog, you have to keep that dog away. Now sometimes such a dog is put down, it's killed, but Kali Yuga is not a dog that can be killed. It is going to be there as long as Kali Yuga is there. So Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is there to protect us. But actually already we are bitten by that dog. So what we need to do is, okay, to keep the dog away from further biting us, but we also need to be cured. So for that, there is a Mahaushadha. And the Mahaushadha means Harinam. Harinam Mahaushadha Dana Param. And nowadays, big pharma is a huge industry. In fact, whenever there are medicines to be sold, there are millions and billions of dollars to be made out of it. But Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is offering this great medicine, but Dana Param. He's giving it free, no charge. In fact, not only does he not charge for it, he actually goes and asks everyone, please take this medicine. So what actually happens over here? So Kali Yuga, overall throughout history, there have always been bad people who are doing bad things, and there have been good people who are doing good things. But one of the darknesses of Kali Yuga is not only that the number of people who are doing bad things increases dramatically, but many people get confused about what is good and what is bad. So often bad things, wrong things are glamorized. Glamorized so that what happens is, hey, this is good, this is cool. So people get completely confused. The moral compass gets obfuscated basically. So, for example, entertainment has always been a part of human society. But in Kali Yuga, the entertainment often becomes so intrusive, so explicit, so obscene that it contaminates the minds of people. And okay, that kind of thing may also happen in the past. But when, say, in movies there are explicit scenes, they're called as bold scenes. Now, what is the opposite of bold? Is cowardly. That means that somebody who is actually simply triggering base desires in others, that person is considered as heroic. And somebody who doesn't consider that person is considered as weak, as cowardly. So, sarvarthan viparitam. So in Kali Yuga, one of the characters described in 12th canto is that people's values get completely distorted. So when like a person who is mad, they just don't understand what is right, what is wrong. So when the people are bitten by the Kali dog, then they become mad. And when we talk about Harinam Mahaushadana, so what does it mean basically? Basically, this is a disease that this is a disease that purifies us. So how does the purification happen? Basically, purification. What it means is, like we say, Shuddhikar, Ashuddha and Shuddha. So purification simply means there are things that glitter. And then there are things that matter. There are things that look attractive and there are things that are actually valuable. And the greater the distance between the two of them, the greater is the impurity. So when somebody is extremely greedy, for example, then for them, money is all that matters. Now, money, of course, is important, no doubt. But while making money is important, but what we are making with money is even more important, isn't it? Like we have a neighbor. The neighbor just rushes out of their home and gets into a car. He says, "Where are you going?" "Okay, I'm going to put gas in my car." "Okay. After that, where will you go?" "Oh, then I'll go to the next gas station and put gas in my car." "Okay. Then after that, where will you go?" "I'll go to the next gas station and put gas in my car." "Where are you going?" He said, "I'm going to put gas in my car." Well, we need fuel is what we drive with. It is not what we drive for, isn't it? Okay, you get fuel so that you can drive somewhere else. So money is similarly what we live with. It's not what we live for. But when greed is there, then what happens? Greed makes us, money is what we live for. And when this happens, a person may get a big house, but they alienate their family, they backstab their friends, and then they have a big house in which you feel lonely and unhappy. Just a lot of space for that. So what we live with. So the point is, what really things that glitter, money is things that glitter. But actually what we do with money, that is even more important. So the greater the distance between these two, the greater will be our self-created misery. So in Kali Yuga, by God's grace, many of the basic necessities of life are all available to us. But what has happened is, because there is greed, because there is anger, because there is selfish lust, because of that, even with having many things, we are all unhappy. And we could say that people in today's world are, at the level of the body, there is comfort. But at the level of the mind, there is misery. So the state of the people today is that people are comfortably miserable. They are comfortably miserable. And that's why you see so many people, they are living in good houses, driving good cars, but they have such mental health issues. They have to go to therapists, they have to keep popping antidepressants. So what has happened is, all this is because of ultimately impurities in the mind. We are pursuing things that glitter at the cost of things that matter. And when we chant the holy names, our value systems get aligned with reality. We become sane. The more we just come to a temple, do kirtan, start realizing, for doing kirtan, we don't need any money. But just if we can absorb ourselves in the kirtan of the holy names, then we'll find that we get such sublime peace, sublime joy. This does not come simply by getting a lot of money or getting a lot of mundane enjoyment. So we start experiencing, this is where real joy, real fulfillment is. By giving this Maha Aushadhi, by giving this holy name freely, what Mahaprabhu does is, he helps us cure the disease that has infected all of us. Dana Param. And this is his great generosity. And it was that generosity that Srila Prabhupada took forward. Srila Prabhupada not only, when Mahaprabhu, when he came to Varanasi, he wanted to distribute the holy name and the love of God that was there with him. But there was nobody to take it, because everybody there was impersonalists. So Mahaprabhu said, I have so many fruits of love of God. I just want somebody to distribute it. So Srila Prabhupada took those fruits of love of God and he distributed them all over the world. And now all over the world there are temples. Here in New York, there are hundreds and hundreds of us. It is all Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's mercy coming through Srila Prabhupada. So the Maha Aushadha that can actually help us find real happiness, that is there with all of us. So next part says Patitartha. So Dayardra Sumurti Dharam. That Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is extremely beautiful. Sumurti. But when he sees how much everyone is in distress, how much everyone is having patit artha, they're fallen their distress, dayadra, Mahaprabhu's heart flows with so much compassion that tears start coming from his eyes. And he becomes very enthusiastic. Just take this medicine, I'll give it to you free, I'll give it to you free. I'll give it to you, just take it. No. This is his great mercy. There are some traditions within the Indian tradition, they say the Lord is Triyugi. Triyugi means he comes only in three yugas. He doesn't come in Kali Yuga. Now the reasoning for that is that suppose somebody goes to a very high crime part of a city, and they go to a very high crime part of the city, what happens? There, they get robbed. And then, when they go to the police, they say, I was robbed over there. The police say, why did you go there? Even we don't go over there. So, sometimes some parts of the city might be so crime ridden that even the police forcing them. So, one way of looking at it is that Kali Yuga is so crime ridden that even Krishna abandons it. So, it's like that, the idea of Triyugi. That in Kali Yuga the souls are so fallen that Krishna says they cannot be delivered. Even I won't go there. Those who are gone there are lost. But this is only the perspective of law. However, Krishna and especially Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, they don't operate on the perspective of law. They operate on the perspective of love. So they operate on the perspective of love. What does that mean? See, so the Lord does not see a Kali Yuga souls. So let's put it this way. Although the Kali Yuga souls do bad things, the Lord does not see them as bad. He sees them as sick. And suppose there is a big sickness, and there is a charitable person who normally gives charity. But when there is great sickness, when there is an epidemic, the charitable person will give even more charity. So the Lord is like that. From the perspective of love, what he sees is, in Kali Yuga, everybody is infected more and more. So he becomes even more generous in his heart. And that's why he wants to give this charity more and more. So even to practice bhakti in the past was not easy. But Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he goes to everyone. Patra na dekhi sthana sthan. He doesn't see anything. You just take this mercy. You just take this medicine. Be cured. So the Lord has tears in his eyes, seeing the distress of the conditioned souls. And because of those tears, he's moved to go to everyone and distribute that mercy. So we can recite this. Full ones. Look at together. So that brings us to the last part, that the Lord brings about transformation within us. So I talked about his identity. This is the same Lord who has descended to this world. Now, what is the transformation that he brings out in our heart? So he says over here, Abhilasha chayam tad abhedadiyam. So he says, Abhilasha chayam. We have many desires in this world. And people who get fed with those desires, they think that I will just merge into God. So there is bhukti and then there is mukti. Lord says, just forget it all. Ashubham cha shubham cha tyaja sarvamidam. In this world, sometimes good things will happen, sometimes bad things will happen to us. Please don't bother about these things. It's like going back to the doctor medicine metaphor. Suppose somebody is sick, and while they are sick, now finally they have got a good medicine, they have got a good doctor. But still, it has been it's a chronic disease. So it will take some time to recover. While it is taking time to recover, sometimes during the recovery, they may have good days, sometimes they may have bad days. But the important thing is not whether I am having a good day or a bad day. The important thing is whether I am recovering or not. Sometimes we may as devotees feel that, I am practicing bhakti, I come to the temple, but still I have problems in my life, and somebody who is a non-devotee, they also have problems in their life. So what is the use of my practice of bhakti? So actually, we could say problems are there for devotees and for non-devotees. But that does not mean that both their situations are equal. They're not equal. Why not? It's like there are, in a hospital, there is pain. So there is one patient who has been diagnosed what is wrong and is being treated. And another patient who is neither diagnosed or not being treated. Now, right now, both of them may be in pain. But are both of them in the same situation? No. Here, the pain is going to decrease and disappear. But here, the pain is going to increase, unfortunately. That's why, while practicing bhakti, even if we face some difficulties in our life, we shouldn't become discouraged. We are on the right path. We are on the right track. It is the Lord who has brought us to His lotus feet. It is right now when we have come to the temple of Radha Govind, we have come to the lotus feet of Srila Prabhupada. Like we have been running a marathon, and now we have come to the final lap of the marathon. Now somebody says, hey, it's too difficult, I quit. Now you come to the final lap. Even if there is some trouble, don't take it too seriously. And good things happen, that's wonderful. Be grateful. But don't think that, okay, I don't need God anymore. We still are so close to Krishna. That's why it said, Tyaja shubham cha shubham. That ashubham cha shubham cha tyaja. Don't worry whether good things are happening or bad things are happening. Just focus whether I am staying connected to Krishna or not. That is the most important thing. So let's recite this.
Abhinashachayam tat abhedadiyam Abhinashachayam tat abhedadiyam Ashubham cha shubham cha tyaja sarvam
Ashubham cha shubham cha tyaja sarvam
Abhinashachayam tat abhedadiyam Abhinashachayam Ashubham cha shubham cha tyaja sarvam Ashubham cha shubham cha tyaja sarvam Abhinashachayam tadabhedadiyam Ashubham cha shubham cha tyaja sarvam. And now how can we not care about good things are happening, bad things are happening? That, I had a job, I lost my job, I was healthy and I got this sickness. How can I not care for it? It's not that we don't care for it. It's that we care for something more, we care for something bigger. And this is the most important thing, what we discussed, practically speaking, anukulataya priyasevanaya. What that means is that anukul is favorable. Priyasevanaya. If we try to have a prayerful service attitude, Krishna, whatever happens, you are my well-wisher. Lord Chaitanya, you want the best for me. So whatever is happening, we try to see anukulataya. How is this favorable for me? If we keep that vision, Krishna says, that everything that happens, see, there are events and there are experiences. That means how we experience that event. Events are objective reality, but experience is subjective. And what Bhakti Yoga does is, it helps us to see how in everything that is happening, there is the Lord's plan. And the Lord's plan is for my good. See, Bhakti is not just coming to the temple and chanting and taking darshan. That's important, no doubt. But this should lead to a change of our way in which we see things. So, what does this mean? Let's consider Prabhupada's example. Now, Prabhupada worked extremely hard so that he could assist in Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's mission. Prabhupada was in the pharmacy business basically. He worked extremely hard to try to expand his business so that he could have funds so that he could support Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's mission. But that just didn't work. Then Prabhupada tried to preach in India, and that also didn't work. And then when nothing was working, Prabhupada could have quit. See, most people, how they work is, maybe when they're 5 or they're 10 years old, they say, I want to become the president of America. And then as they grow older, maybe, if I can become president of my college board, that's a good idea. And by the time they graduate, if I get a job, that will be good. So life beats our ambitions out of us. And then we just start thinking very small things. Prabhupada tried so much in India. He tried to start an organization, League of Devotees. He tried to publish a magazine, Back to Godhead. He tried to work with his god brothers. He tried his business. Nothing seemed to work. But Prabhupada's ambition to serve Krishna kept going bigger and bigger. What he saw was, there is some plan of Krishna. When Prabhupada decided nothing is working in India, he decided, let me go to America. And his sponsor, Sumti Moraji, she said, Swamiji, you are so old and America is so cold. Yes, my secretary is telling me that you will die over there. You are like my father. I can't send you to a death like this. And then Prabhupada said that, if you really think of me as your father, will you not fulfill the last desire of your father? He says, my desire is that I should fulfill the desire of my spiritual master. That I should fulfill the prophecy of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, spread the holy name all over the world. Please help me. Now when Prabhupada came to America, he did not know what was going on in America. But Prabhupada had that confidence. Krishna has some plan. Ache kichu karya tabe ei anumane, nahe ke noani bena ei ugrasthane. You must have some plan, my dear God. So with that confidence, Prabhupada came over here. And by Krishna's arrangement, Prabhupada came just at the right time when the counterculture was there. There was interest in Eastern spirituality. And then hundreds and hundreds of people started taking bhakti. So, Prabhupada's repeated setbacks in India, Prabhupada did not see it negatively. Oh, Krishna doesn't want me to serve me. Krishna doesn't want that I serve him. Maybe I should just quit. Anukulataya priyasevanaya. That, okay, Krishna, I don't understand what is happening here. Why is this bad thing happening to me? But I have faith that you must have some plan. Please guide me how I can serve you. Now, if we look at our lives, we can see so many things that could have gone wrong with the childhood. We could have got some disease. We could have died. All of us are alive. And we have come to Krishna's lotus feet now. So how has this happened? It is by Krishna's mercy. So Krishna has not brought us this far to abandon us now. So He's brought us this far and He will take us all the way. That's why on this day of Gaur Purnima, we can pray for this blessing that Anukulataya Priyasevanaya. My dear Lord, whatever happens, please give me the intelligence by which I can see it favorably. So this is called as Buddhi Yoga. Buddhi Yoga means the Buddhi to do yoga. In whatever situation I am in, Krishna, please give me the intelligence by which I can come close to you. So we all may have many obstacles for practicing bhakti. But if pray to Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, my dear Lord, please guide me how I can serve. How I can assist in distributing the fruits of love of God that you have. You have to distribute. If you just try to have that service attitude, The Lord will give us intelligence from within. The Lord will guide us about how to continue serving Him, how to come closer to Him, how to help others come closer to Him. Kathanchal smrute yasmin dushkaram sukaram bhavet. It's for those who remember Krishna, even the impossible becomes possible. So 50 years ago, 60, 70 years ago, who would have imagined that a 70-year-old man would come to America alone without money and spread a global movement for raising human consciousness toward love of God? But that's what Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's mercy does. And that mercy is available to all of us. It can work in our lives also. And today is a day when we can especially seek that mercy. Because on His appeals day, the Lord is very merciful. So let us all pray to Chaitanya Mahaprabhu that He enrich our heart with His mercy, with the intelligence by which we can all see whatever is happening in our life as favorable for our service to Him. It is the Lord's plan to bring us closer to Him. So I'll summarize what we discussed today, and then we'll offer one last prayer to Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So I discussed three main points. The first point was the identity. Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is Avatara, the topmost avatar. Why? Because He is giving the topmost mercy. He is actually Krishna and Radha combined together. Then we discussed about the intention. The intention is that He is coming as a powerful doctor. This powerful doctor, he is keeping the dog of Kali away, and then he is giving us the medicine of the holy name. And what happens by this medicine of the holy name? Purification. And purification basically means what happens is that if our attention is here, instead of we focusing on the things that glitter, we start focusing on the things that matter. So this by which we can actually move towards real happiness, and then the transformation that He brings in the heart, that is, we understand that even if distress comes in my life, I just need patience, because I'm like a patient who has got the medicine, just being cured, but sometimes there's just a bad day, just one bad day. Don't get carried away. And not just the patient amid distress, the Lord gives us patience. And the Lord gives us intelligence of how to come closer to Krishna, how to serve Krishna, even in this situation. So, Kali Yuga is a difficult time, but Mahaprabhu's mercy is such that the world can hurt us in many ways, but greater than the world's power to hurt is the Lord's power to heal. Greater than the world's power to hurt is the Lord's power to heal. So if we just stay connected with the Lord, then whatever be the wounds that the world has given us in the past, whatever the wounds the world may give us in the future, we will be healed of them. That is the mercy of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Shri Gauranga Mahaprabhu ki Jai. Srila Prabhupada ki Jai. Gaur Bhakta Vrinda ki Jai. Gaur Premanande.